Well, I have not been back to make videos for you guys or do anything for a while. I'll explain why. So, during our camping trip, we had to get a new motor. And along with that, a few other things going on, but let me explain. So, towing this fifth wheel, not the heaviest thing in the world, right? It's only maybe 12,000 pounds fully loaded up. And the truck, pretty much peak EGT when it's hauling is like between 1,100 and 1,300 EGTs. So very low for Cummins, very low for modified engine, everything else. We ended up having either bad diesel fuel, whether it was through the Indian reservation we got it from, which we were sending out for third-party testing, or injector failure, CP3 failure, something that actually went wrong. Now, without getting through all the bad and all the bullshit, I'm telling you right now, it's brand new 5.9 from DFC. We had the most incredible experience dealing with the shop in Siskiyou. So we broke down right outside of Brookings. We had amazing people around us that they were able to let us store the trailer. We got this towed in via AAA to Siskiyou Diesel Performance. They took care of us. They sourced everything we needed. We got upgraded injectors, cam, valve springs, stuff like that for a new motor, and we're out of there within 2.5 weeks. I don't think anyone else could have done that. And every single thing as far as like their technician and their communication and just the professionalism of their experience that I got from them was the best I've ever seen. And prior to that, I had to get a new intercooler on the day before the engine blew. So the standard end tank blew on this side, and I had lost that. So the truck was making plenty of power. It was getting 13.2 miles per gallon towing. It was fantastic. Like, we did all of Northern California that whole drive on, like, I want to say 3/4 of a tank. So really, 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 really good fuel economy. So now we have our new DFC Longblock, and because a piston melted and had gone through the factory turbo, I had opted to replace turbos. So let's see if I can try to get a video of what we have without being too loud. Down there is a BorgWarner S364SX-R, and I go to see him every year. The BorgWarner guys know me. I head up AGP, which used to be, way back when, a direct competitor for a company I worked for. And I said, guys, I need a little bit of help with this. We've ended up with a Hamilton cam, Hamilton 1 of 3 valve springs, pushrods. That's what we're set up. We're towing this thing. I'm trying to do everything I can to be efficient in towing, right? And this is the turbo, to me, that specs out better than everything else. And so I'm gonna do a little drive right now. Kind of show you guys what I mean. So this thing, which, by the way, almost fully warmed up. This thing, to me, with the DDP 50 horsepower injectors that are in it, drives, I would say we have our full boost as far as like drivability by maybe 150 RPM after factory. So I'll kind of go out the expressway here. We'll see how the traffic is. Wait for a couple cars. But these injectors, their data time and stuff, now it's idling perfect. Right where we need to be. And hopefully, we'll see how good this video quality is. I might zoom us out like this. There we go, that's probably a little better. So we have power and response for days. This thing is just, in my opinion, it drives so much better than stock with no downside. The one thing is, on a brand new engine, there's going to be a break-in period for everything. So power's turned way down. This Banks thing is on level 1. I'm just being very cautious with a brand new engine. All right, well, after that was probably tune revision number a lot for the truck. So messing around with the pulse width stuff to get these injectors to drive like factory. It's really making me think that we may have had an injector failure, not CP3, not bad fuel, whatever it was, because I just had to take a 50 horsepower, let's say 15% higher than stock injector, and add pulse width to make it drive equivalent to what it used to drive. That kind of makes me think. In other words, when crud goes through diesel injectors, there's such high pressure that the orifices in which they're being injected through are opening up because whatever particulates have been going through your fuel system, if you don't have proper filtration, which this truck had factory filtration for 103,000 miles, it could have definitely been that my stock injectors were like 80 or 90 horsepower injectors after all that wear. Because that's kind of what it equated to when it came to the tuning side. So, anyways, the truck is now feeling really good. The S364SX-R, holy moly, that is, I'm so impressed with that selection that I made. And let me try to break that down. So, factory 351 CW. Let's say it gets up 1550, 1600. We're really starting to get some grunt. By 2300 or so, it's starting to choke off. So it's got a decent sized power band, but not like crazy. And the one workaround for that is, of course, advancing the fuel timing for the truck to pull EGT off of the higher RPM and therefore allow yourself to have more fuel to make up for the inefficiency of the turbo. You're overspinning it, you're pumping hot air, it's not ideal, right? Moving over to the 364SX-R, it really does seem to be about 100 to 150 RPM. Oh, sorry about that, got a phone call. 100 to 150 RPM later than stock. But instead of falling off at 2300, I'm pretty sure that if I had shifted the truck or decided to shift the truck at 4000 RPM, oh shit, it would still keep going. It's very much not running out of air. And I believe, in fact, that we are still climbing the compressor efficiency up to redline. So it's a very, very nice feeling. In other words, you don't need to be in it to get your power. The response time of that with the inertia of that turbo, since they downsized the exducer of the compressor from what would have been like a 67.5 or 68 millimeter to a 64, like the S364SX-R, that thing essentially gets up and goes without any single downside. I'm just blown away and impressed with that exact thing. So there's no downside, there's not much more lag, and then if we need to downshift to tow, like what I had to do over the Cascade grader on I-5 and just hold it at 2500 RPM extended period, it's not going to be dumping heat into the intercooler and being just a complete turd. So the turbo is fantastic. The tuning is finally getting there. We've got a peak EGT of about 1250 right now, and for towing, that is exactly what we need. And it's a completely different truck. The drivability is good, and I have a feeling that as things break in more, the injector balance will get better and the motor balance will get better. I'll end up redoing the valve lash again in the next probably 2,000 miles, just to see if I want to loosen it up a little bit if I went too tight for the tighter specs and whatnot. But the motor's fantastic. This means we can start towing again. It's going to be a night and day difference, and I'm very happy, very excited to be able to drive efficiently again. So it's cool. But thank you again to Siskiyou Performance Diesel, Kat, Logan, Matt. You guys are amazing. Honestly, given the bad situation with either it was bad fuel, bad injector, whatever it was, you guys took care of my family like family. And within 2.5 weeks, we had a functioning vehicle again to get home. And it means the world to me. I'm so thankful. And for anyone who ever needs diesel work, whether you're in California or Oregon or anywhere in the PNW, go over to Medford, Oregon, talk to Kat. She'll take care of you for everything you need. And whether it's performance or maintenance or whatever it is, I've never had a shop ever do what they did when it comes to communication and quality of service. Now, when they found mistakes that other people made, and they found mistakes that just dumb things. Here's a prime example. I put on the turbo myself, right, after getting the new engine back. Logan had everything perfectly torqued, ARP greased, perfectly set in place. Not a single thing was out of spec. It was brilliant. Like, I'm just blown away with the quality of work, and I really hope that the rest of the automotive industry can try to match that eventually, but they're a bunch of fakers, and you know real when you see real. I'll put it that way. So thank you again to Siskiyou Diesel Performance. Just mind blown how good that was. So catch you guys next one. I will keep the hood wrap part of the videos out of this, I think. So we'll just be talking head and a little bit of driving. So the truck is really nice again. Finally. Thank goodness. All right. See you guys. Catch you on the next one.